Liberal host amok. Trump supporters. JD Vance's response leaves him speechless. In a recent televised debate that has since gone viral, a liberal host found himself on the receiving end of a powerful and thought-provoking response from Senator JD Vance, leaving the usually outspoken commentator momentarily speechless. The exchange began when the host, known for his sharp critiques of former President Donald Trump and his supporters, attempted to mock Trump's base, dismissing them as uneducated and misguided. However, Vance, a rising star in the Republican Party and a staunch advocate for the working class, turned the tables with a response that resonated deeply with viewers across the political spectrum. The host opened the segment with a condescending tone, suggesting that Trump supporters were clinging to outdated ideas and unable to see the bigger picture. He went on to imply that their support for the former president was rooted in ignorance rather than a genuine understanding of the issues. The audience, largely composed of the show's loyal viewership, seemed to cheer on the host's remarks, creating an atmosphere of disdain for the millions of Americans who had voted for Trump. But Vance, who has long been a vocal defender of the working-class communities that form the backbone of Trump's support, was quick to challenge the host's narrative. With a calm yet firm demeanor, Vance began by acknowledging the frustrations of everyday Americans who feel left behind by the political elite. He pointed out that the host's dismissive attitude was emblematic of the very disconnect that has driven so many people to support Trump in the first place. "What you're doing right now," Vance said, leaning forward in his chair, "is exactly why so many people feel alienated by the mainstream media and the political establishment. You're reducing their concerns, their struggles, and their values to a punchline. But let me tell you something. These are hardworking people who have watched their jobs disappear, their communities decline, and their voices ignored for decades. They're not stupid. They're not blind. They're desperate for someone who will actually fight for them." The room fell silent as Vance continued, his words cutting through the host's earlier smugness. He spoke passionately about the economic hardships faced by millions of Americans, particularly in rural and industrial areas, and how Trump's message of economic nationalism and cultural pride had struck a chord with them. Vance also highlighted the hypocrisy of those who claim to champion the working class, while simultaneously mocking their beliefs and dismissing their concerns. "You talk about empathy and understanding," Vance said, addressing the host directly. "But where's your empathy for the single mom working 2 jobs to put food on the table? Where's your understanding for the factory worker who lost his job because of bad trade deals? These people aren't looking for handouts. They're looking for respect. And until you and others like you start listening to them instead of talking down to them, this divide is only going to grow." The host, clearly unprepared for Vance's impassioned rebuttal, stumbled over his words as he attempted to respond. For once, the usually quick-witted commentator was at a loss, his earlier confidence replaced by visible discomfort. The audience, too, seemed to shift in their seats, some nodding in agreement with Vance's points, while others appeared to reflect on the validity of his argument. The clip of the exchange quickly spread across social media, with many praising Vance for his ability to articulate the frustrations of Trump supporters in a way that was both compelling and respectful. Even some of the host's usual supporters admitted that Vance had made a valid point, sparking a broader conversation about the need for greater understanding and dialogue between opposing political factions. In the days following the debate, Vance's response has been hailed as a masterclass in political communication, demonstrating the power of empathy and authenticity in bridging divides. It serves as a reminder that, regardless of one's political beliefs, dismissing or ridiculing those who hold different views only deepens the polarization that plagues modern discourse. As Vance so eloquently put it, the only way we move forward as a country is by listening to each other, not talking past each other. The liberal host may have set out to mock Trump supporters, but in the end, it was JD Vance who delivered a message that left a lasting impression, one that challenges us all to rethink how we engage with those who see the world differently.